South America, 1972. Air Force Flight 571 from Uruguay carrying 45 passengers crashes into the Andes Mountains. Nearly 30 survived the initial crash, though some fell victim to injuries and a later deadly avalanche. The survivors, including members of a rugby team, had little food and no source of heat in the harsh conditions. Faced with certain death from starvation, they were soon forced to make the ultimate decision. They fed on their fellow passengers preserved in the snow, many of whom were friends and classmates. This nightmarish ordeal stretched over 2 months before 2 of the men miraculously reached a remote village, and the last of the 16 survivors were finally rescued.
A Wendigo is a malevolent spirit, literally brought into life through what we consider one of the most ultimate acts of evil, cannibalism. They have been part and parcel of Native American culture since time immemorial.
They normally start out as a human that becomes depraved and cannibalistic. And those cannibalistic tendencies make it turn into this monster.
The Wendigo is insatiable. It wants flesh, it wants blood. It is never satisfied with the amount of what it can eat.
All of its descriptions emphasize its monstrosity, its deviation from mankind.
It can literally move between time and space to be where its victims are. And so when the Wendigo has its sights on you as a victim, there is no escape.
I think that the Algonquin Indian tale of the Wendigo has more to do with mental health than it does with cannibalism.
Wendigo psychosis could be characterized as a very extreme form of cabin fever. Typically what happens in a Wendigo psychosis is somebody is trapped or isolated with other people for very, very long periods of time. And they may have plenty of provisions to eat. And what happens in this syndrome is that a person will start to develop the belief that they're going to turn into a monster and then cannibalize the other people around them. And so it can become a very, very dangerous delusion. We can think of the Wendigo psychosis as a form of compulsion, and they believe that once they eat the human flesh that they're always going to want to eat it, they'll never get enough. And in a way, this can be similar to a syndrome such as drug addiction.